Hello my beauty bots and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Faith. I am burning up because I just resituated my office and moved everything around, and it's a little hot. It's a little hot doing all that, especially when, girls, does it not make you like 10 times hotter when your hair is drying? So I think it's because it's wet, it's damp, and it's heavy on our noggins. So it just makes it really hot. Before we get into today's video, I do want to just go through some housekeeping really quick. Remember, everything that you need is going to be in the description box, and that's got all of my links to my social media content, the link to my website, which is just faithingandellis.com. Also, do us a favor, subscribe to our channel. If you do subscribe, thank you. And also, please do introduce yourself in the comment section. I would love to give you a shout out. Now, as always, any of your dating success stories or your dating horror stories can be sent to faith.ingan101@yahoo.com. Just put in the subject line dating fails so that I do not throw it away. And any more fun, bingeable content that I think you might like will pop up here. Let's get into it. So today I'm going to read, my hair is so funky, sorry guys. Today I'm going to read actually a good story. This is not a dating horror story, it's actually a love story. So I'm gonna go through here and just kind of narrate this, and hopefully this gives you some feel good. So grab your coffee and enjoy. So this reads: I joined the world of online dating on a whim. I had broken up with my boyfriend of 2 years, and I was ready to embark upon the rest of my 20s with a new lease on romance. Someone suggested Tinder. This was 2014, when Tinder was fairly new and dating behind a screen still hadn't totally shed its stigma. My family wasn't supportive. Eventually, I joined OkCupid and Match.com to diversify my portfolio. And every Monday morning, I kept my coworkers enthralled with my dating adventures. You see, I was the world's pickiest dater. I didn't want to date a man under 5'10". I didn't want to date anyone with kids. I wasn't ready for kids, and I didn't want to be anyone's stepmom. Anyone divorced was also not my type. I figured he would have too many strings attached. I didn't want to date an actor, model, or club promoter, or anyone in the entertainment industry. I was looking for a doctor, lawyer, teacher, or police officer. My new boyfriend would have to be between 25 and 28. Younger men were too juvenile, and older men were just too old. I didn't want to date someone who wanted to take advantage of a 20-something because his first 2 wives didn't work out. And I didn't want to date someone who wasn't black. I know how that sounds, but I'm a black woman, and I had never really dated a white guy. I guess I just didn't think the average white guy in Los Angeles would have anything in common with a black girl who grew up in the inner city. So I put the dating app filters to work to weed out or weed in the perfect guy for me. I left no stone unturned in my search for the best candidate. I read a potential date's profile as if he was applying for a job with the FBI. Sadly, there are no filters to determine whether someone still lives off his mother or has 5 roommates or a tattoo of My Little Pony on his back. My parents were afraid my pickiness was going to lead to me being all alone, except for several adorable cats. My list of can date ifs went on and on. I inspected and critiqued each carefully curated profile picture displayed on the dating apps. If you were posed with women, I didn't think you were serious. Too many selfies made a man seem narcissistic. I didn't like the arrogance of posing in front of a luxury car or a trip to an exotic place such as Giza, Egypt. I wanted a man to look good, but not too perfect. Otherwise, he might care more about himself than me. I was a sucker for beards, tailored clothing, and a job with benefits. As a teacher, I was making a stable income with healthcare insurance, and I didn't want someone who couldn't at least meet me in the middle. Sometimes a man would meet most of my qualifications, and I would go out on a date. Curiously enough, I fell into a pattern of being ghosted by guys just when my heart would melt a little and I began to like them. I was a petty perfectionist. I didn't realize that until later when I allowed a green-eyed Stephen Curry lookalike from Los Angeles to give me the runaround for months. I allowed him to be my friend with benefits because I was convinced this man was a perfect match. If he could just settle down and realize I was the one. Didn't happen. It was out of sheer desperation, or had I just exhausted all my Tinder matches. Then I finally began to uncheck certain filters on my OkCupid profile, such as age, distance away, and eventually race. I didn't necessarily answer messages from men outside my preferred demographic range, but the key was to make myself feel as if I had more options. One of my coworkers I had long entertained with my dating stories, a black woman like myself, had been dating a Jewish man for years and had just gotten engaged. On several occasions, she had encouraged me, with little success, to date outside of my comfort zone. She knew I had a type. She also knew that, unfortunately, there were only a few Drake doppelgangers out there with high-paying jobs who didn't also have children or a crazy ex-girlfriend. Finally, I had to snap myself back to reality. Most of the men in Los Angeles were regular guys with a variety of backgrounds, and many would like to get to know me. I had been refusing to get to know them. After 2 more years of limited success on any online dating platform, I let my coworker match me with one of her husband's good friends. She'd planned to set me up with him before, but she knew I had a type and that I would have rejected this guy before meeting him. She finally showed me a picture of him on Instagram. He was white. He wasn't all that tall. And he was in the entertainment industry. Later, she sent me a short video of him at work. I had to admit, he had a sexy voice and was kind of adorable. He was being given a cake to celebrate his signing to a record company as an in-house writer. What I really liked about him was how humble he appeared despite the circumstances. And I noticed he had the most brilliant blue eyes I'd ever seen. I responded with the emoji with huge eyes. Okay, I was willing to try. We met about a month later. We were in love within weeks, and we were married within months. Remarkably, he is everything I had filtered out of my dating profile. But now I know he's everything I've ever wanted and hopefully will ever need. Lesson learned. All right, I know that was a longer story. That was a great story, and I want to go through a couple of things with that. So, it's never wrong, I don't think, for you to be picky about who you're choosing to spend your time with. In fact, I condone us to put filters on who we dedicate our time to. That said, sometimes we focus on the wrong filters. I understand she has certain things that attract her. I understand that as a young black female, she puts a filter on specifically dating black men because they can probably better understand her positioning on certain subjects, right? I completely understand that. with my background, it's extremely hard for me to be with a person. Hold on, I need some chapstick, yeah. It's extremely hard for me to be comfortable with a person who has a picture-perfect background and a picture-perfect family. Because due to my background, when I react to certain things or certain things trigger inside of me, that partner I don't feel like is going to understand my positioning. So after my divorce with my husband and I was kind of getting back into entertaining the idea of dating, I wasn't really dating, I was just kind of entertaining that possibility. But one of the things that I noticed very quickly was I would need to find somebody who came from a background where either their parents were no longer present in their lives, or something with their childhood was at least some way as messed up as my own. And I think that this is part of the mistake that I made with my husband. There's a lot of areas in my life that he could never understand. And I'm not saying that you should put those kind of filters on your life, and maybe my situation is one of a few. But I do think that part of what I needed from him, he never understood because he'd never had to experience the things that I'd have to experience. And sometimes, whether it's culturally or it's, you know, just in your childhood, psychologically, sometimes those things can make or break a relationship. So I understand that that was kind of one of her stigmas, was to stay specifically within her race. I'm glad that she was able to find something outside of her race that fulfilled her needs and things that she didn't realize she needed. But I get why she put those filters on. When it comes to, you know, certain things that they do as for work, their height, their hair color, their skin color, you know, their eye color, when it comes to very, very specific things like that, and you're just kind of being superficial, yes, you're probably wasting your time and missing out on so many good people out there. I love how she said he wasn't really tall, and that was one of her things, was she was looking for somebody tall. And as most women, I think it's very rare that we're attracted to a shorter guy. Typically women are attracted to a taller, bigger guy because it makes us feel protected. So I understand, you know, that was kind of one of the things she was looking for. She did mention that he wasn't that tall, but something that overrode that, sounds like, was his eyes. And I think that that's so sweet. She found something in him, she was willing to be open, and then she found so much more in him. She did say he was in the entertainment industry, and I understand that can open up just a completely different lifestyle, so I get that. But I think his positioning on where he was in the entertainment industry and the fact that he was so humble about it, that alleviated her concerns, it sounds like. And he kind of went against all of those filters that she put on her life, instead of being open and kind of vulnerable with somebody and really just going beyond the outside appearance. But I also want to make note, that's usually where we get when we're online dating, is we do focus on those things. She didn't meet him online. She met him through a friend. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with online dating. I'm just saying when we are presented with all this information and all these people thrown at us in online dating, we are initially focusing on those superficial things because that's what we get first. Does that make sense? So with this, you know, she met him through a friend, and the friend was kind of, for lack of a better word, like his adversary to go beyond what he looked like, but present who he is. And as she said, he's almost everything she filtered out of her dating profile. But he's everything that she wanted. She just didn't realize that. I think that's so sweet. I think this is the sweetest story. Anyways, I thought I would make y'all's day with something sweet instead of a horror story today. So I do hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any comments, any good stories, comment those below or send those to my email. And if you made it this far in the video, go ahead and comment moo below to confuse everybody else who has not made it this far. You guys so much for watching. Enjoy your day, stay safe, stay strong, stay diligent, and lead with an open heart. Love you guys. Bye.